this is one of the most important leadership lessons or leadership basics that every young Africans should know. Um, One thing I've come to realize is that in most cases, we talk a lot about leadership, but we do not focus on some of the things that builds up leadership. Now, may I explain that leadership starts from you, then to you leading other people, then to you leading your community or organization. So the nature of leadership is such that it starts from you leading yourself, leading others, and then leading your community. So that means that if one is going to be a great leader, an effective leader, it starts from being effective in leading yourself well. I will relate this. Of course, there will be time for discussion because I'll be throwing some questions to you. I will relate this to um, real life situations that happens to us generally as young people. And then one of the things I've also found out is that I have observed with keen interest that most young people lack personal leadership. Most young people lack personal leadership, and that's why you when it comes to organization leadership, in our own case, I'll be using 3D Africa as our own case now, as our case study. Most people lack what's it called. Now, when it now comes to organization leadership, they tend to fail, or they tend to be ineffective. Now, it is not because most times it is not because they do not know what leadership entails, or it's not because they do not I've read about leadership, I've attended a lot of seminars about leadership, but they do not know the essentials of leading themselves first. Before you can lead others, you must be able to lead yourself. You must be able to lead yourself. Now, I usually let me start from this. Is one of my favorite quotes that people quote me for. What you have not achieved for yourself, you cannot achieve for others. Now, let me repeat that statement. What you cannot achieve for yourself, you cannot achieve for others. Let me take let's assume I am in the HR team, and I noticed that the HR team people are not effective as far as time management is concerned. Now, the sum of their ineffectiveness is a product of individual ineffectiveness. That means that a team is ineffective because, or a team is not leading themselves well, they are not effective as far as leadership is concerned, because they individual members are not also effective in leading themselves well. So this important information is quite important as we start this what's it called. So some of your objectives for this class is to, one, make you know what is self leadership. Then you get to know the principles of self leadership, the core skills for self leadership, the strategies for self leadership, and then the what all other information you need to know. Of course, we are going to be discussing various things under this self leadership that will help us to um, understand the topic very well. Now, as I've said, and you know, the first thing is leadership is influence. Leadership is, simply put, when you hear people talk about leadership is influence. Of course, it deal with people. Your ability to influence people towards a particular goal, towards a particular target. Whether you hold a position or not, please take note that leadership is not by virtue of position, although sometimes you need position to act, but in most cases, it's the ability to influence people in your own way. And that's why we call something 360-degree leadership: leading yourself, leading others, leading your superiors, and leading your community. I will talk about that one very briefly. So, a very core or aspect of leadership is self-leadership or personal leadership, leading yourself. So, simply put, self-leadership is a process of influencing yourself to establish self-direction and self-motivation needed to perform. Now, I will take this again. Now, note it again that you are influencing yourself. You have influence over yourself, your emotions, you dictate actions, you dictate your thinking, you dictate your goals, and every other thing. You have influence a total influence over your person, over what you say, over how you have over yourself, self-motivation. There are goals that you want to achieve. So self-leadership is your ability to influence yourself towards a particular direction and also motivate yourself to achieve those goals, to perform those tasks, to do those things, to break that milestone, to navigate yourself towards the journey. So this is a definition of self-leadership. Now, another what's it called? Another definition is you have a developed sense of who you are, what you can do, where you are going, and then you are able to influence yourself, your action, your emotions, your behavior towards achieving them. Now, self-leadership is you are quite conscious of one, who you are, two, what you can do, three, where you are going, your direction, four, what you want to achieve. Then you are now influencing everything around you, both your emotions, both your behaviors, both your feelings, both your actions towards achieving those goals. This is a simple and layman definition of self leadership. Now, why is this self leadership important in organization life? Why is it important in organization life? Now, one of the things we also need to, let me try and share my screen and see if um, my network is trying to break. Okay, let me see something here. Okay, now as young people, we must also understand that leadership should be is not a one-way thing, is a 360-degree thing. Leadership is a 360-degree thing. What do we mean by 360-degree? One, is you are the ability to lead yourself, the ability to lead your peers, the ability to lead your boss, the ability to lead your subordinates. And one thing I have come to find out over time is that if you cannot lead yourself well, it is almost impossible to lead others. Now, let me point towards. I'm trying to mark. Let me see if I can mark. I'm pointing towards self leadership first. Now, if you check the circle very well here, you will observe that the thing is coming from self leadership to leading your peers and leading up and then leading down. Now, I've come to observe that most people do not perform well when it comes to leading subordinates, or even talk less of leading their boss. because they have not performed well in leading themselves. We are going to get to how you can lead yourself. It's going to be a practical class, and then of course everybody will get to share their experience and that. So what we are trying to establish under this one now is that the core of leadership in organization, in corporate world, even in the governance. One of the problems we have in Africa is that we have very poor leaders, and they have been poor not when they enter that seat. They have been poor right from their person. And one of the key focus of our leadership talk, this training, is to see how we as organization, as young people within this organization, can begin to lead ourselves well, so that when opportunities comes to lead, then you have the capacity, you have the skill, you have cultivate the behavior and the habit of leading yourself effectively, so as you'll be able to lead others. I usually say this to what's it called? Let me quickly ask let me quickly ask people listening to me here. Now, can I have one or two persons share their experience? Have you been able to? Have you feel like, okay, you wanted to do some things, you have set a target or goal, and then you have not been able to achieve it because sometimes there are some things that are limiting you. There are some things that you yourself do that is limiting you. Can I have one or two persons? One person shared his own experience, and then one person will also share experience on, have you had the opportunity to lead your peers? You lead your peers before. Maybe you lead your peers, or you have been able to lead people in a particular capacity. Can I have one or two persons? If you want to do that, can you please raise up your hand? Okay. Iyanu, please. Ola Iyanu, that's one person. I need one other person to ask. Okay, Abdullah. Okay, so let's have Ola Iyanu to let's have Ola Iyanu to play. Okay, Ola Iyanu.
Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Concerning the leading of the team, I was once opportune to lead or research just a research group of people. So, but due to the way I was doing the other time, I was unable to do. I don't have access to some things in which I know I was actually the one at fault, because I was unable to get myself ready for this research of a team. But along the line, someone hooked me up. Someone told me about this leadership of a team, and I see myself that I am not up to the standard. Do you understand? So I was not up to the standard of leading.
I'm following you. We are going to enjoy the class today. Okay.
Yes, sir. So I was unable to lead the research team that particular time. But maybe after 2 weeks, when I had a summit, I listened to a summit on Zoom meeting. So I had an access to grab a little out of it, because I was in chance then. So I was in a bus. So from there, I was grabbing it little by little, little by little, little by little. But I hope today, by the end of this meeting, I'll be able to listen very well and understand it.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question before I call on what's it going to now. Have you had opportunity of setting goals? You have the opportunity of setting goals. You have a lot of goals, but you notice that you are not able to achieve those goals. You are having a lot of things disturbing you and other things like that.
That's what I meant by the little talk I just said now. Okay, I have we have some tasks to do.
Okay.
So I think I was unable to do it due to what was on ground then. I don't have what do I call it? Maybe leading skills then. So but someone recommended a course on that leadership, but I was unable to get enough experience.
Okay, let me ask you this question again. And the last question. I'm coming to Kamara now. do you have this experience that you are in a group, you are in 3D Africa now, or maybe you have been in one group before, and then of course you have your own personal stuff too, but you are finding it hard to balance the two?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, that's the picture, right?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay, this training and everyone is for you and not everyone that is listening. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Saidu Kamara, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, this, let me say, a long time experience that I've gathered. So immediately brought this topic, I see myself right in the discussion. It was during my high school days, I was opportune to be the minister of language. So by then, I'm a very unique person. I had a lot of friends. So like my colleagues take advantage of the fact that because I'm the minister of language, they flout most of the rules I set. I say, this should not, you are not an exemption. Immediately you go against the rules, you should face the consequence. So like I enforce the law, but by then I was sincere that I'm fighting a genuine cause. So like I have to levy the punishment they deserve for flouting some of the rules I put. So like at the end of the day, they isolate themselves from me. But since I knew that I'm fighting a genuine cause, I don't care. So at the end of the day, I end up losing some of my friends because of that.
Okay. Okay, I get your point. Now, so as not to waste time, I will still engage others. It's going to be highly engaging. There are a lot of things under this. I have a note that I've prepared for you guys. After the class, I'm going to give you that note. It's about 15-page note. So everybody will get to. Now let me continue. Now let me quickly share a screen again, and I want you to see something that is quite important for all of you. I want you to see something that is quite important. And I want to make some point from there. Now, everyone has a personal leadership journey. Everyone has a personal leadership journey. And then that personal leadership journey always starts with ourselves. Now, I will use this 3D Africa as an example now. One of the things I've found out in terms of leadership is that when most of the time when people are joining, when you are joining a particular group or an organization, or you are even following a particular course, I have observed that most people do not take cognizance that every single day of their life, there is a personal leadership journey they are following through. And then, so one of the things I want to instill in you today is for you to have the consciousness that you are following through a personal leadership journey. And the more you go in it, the more evident it becomes that you are effective in leading yourself. And then, of course, will be effective in leading others and even groups. When people tell me I'm having problem leading people, leading this group, leading this set of people, or when some of the team leaders in the organization tell me that my members are not effective, they are not doing this. There are two things that always come to my mind. One, those members have not learned to lead themselves well, and that is why they could not manage a whole lot of things, even in their own personal life. Talk less of combining it with other things that they are doing. And then another thing is that it also boils to the fact that even the leader that is talking, if you check the person very well, is not able to lead himself well as well. So the first thing I want to establish is that you have a personal leadership journey, and it starts right with you. This organization is also a leadership journey. So I told you that there are three areas or intersection about leadership. The past, of course, four now. Leading yourself, leading your peers, leading your boss, and leading your subordinate. 360 leadership. Now, all of these forms your personal leadership journey. Now, this organization is giving you the platform to lead others, that's leading your peers, and probably if you are able to perform very well, they now place you as a team leader, or what's it called, then you are leading subordinates. So today, know that there is a personal leadership journey you are passing through, and then you have to be conscious. I will mention some few points. You have to be conscious of that fact, and then begin to see how you are going to be intentional about leading yourself well. It starts with you. So whenever you look at yourself, and people complain to me that there are a lot of complaints that I receive from people. I am busy, I am this, I am that. The first thing that comes to my mind, that this person have not learned personal leadership. He is still failing in leading himself. So if you cannot lead yourself, you cannot be effective in any organization. And if you are not effective in organization, you cannot scale up in leading others. You cannot scale up in leading your community. You cannot scale up in leading your country. That is a major leadership problem we have. So this is the foundation, and we must get it right. So note that you have a personal leadership journey that you are following, and you not to start leading yourself intentionally. Now let's go to more important aspect of this lecture. I will quickly talk about importance of leading yourself well. Then I will now start the practical aspect of the personal leadership. I'm trying to see um okay. Now there are three major things that self leadership focuses on. Before I go into those three major things, if you are able to, one of the importance of leading yourself well is you'll be able to develop core skills. I have taught this personal leadership to, was in fact currently now on Thursday, I'll be teaching it to leaders in University of Johannesburg, South Africa. I was invited by Professor Shilizi and Ezele. When we were discussing, one of the things he told me, it was that he also found out that most people are not able to lead themselves well, and then it is affecting their performance in the organization, even within the community, and even in the leadership capacity they are not able to manage themselves well. I will talk about all of this. So he invited me to speak with top board management at the University of South Africa. I'll be doing that on Thursday. Now, one of the importance of leading yourself well is that you are able to develop core skills. Now, let me use myself as an example. My leadership journey started when I was an undergraduate in the university, and then of course, as an undergraduate, I knew quite well that I have the leadership capacity and the like. So I was the president of an organization, top-notch organization. I was in about 10 organizations then in school when I was in school. It was very interesting. I was a student union leader and other things like that. So I was occupying a lot of position then. But more importantly, this top-notch was particular because the person that first mentored me in leadership came from that organization. He was the founder of the organization. So I noticed that I was finding it difficult to combine top-notch, leading people very well in top-notch, and my own personal life. Everything was just scattered. I was rough. I was so ineffective in my personal life. I needed to also attempt to organization work. So he called me one day. He told me that, have I heard of anything called personal leadership or self-leadership before? I said no, that this will be the first time. He gave me some materials, gave me some sites, and then he said for the next 1 month, I should do well to study all those materials, learn about them and the like. So I started that study. I later found out that my ineffectiveness in the organization was as a result of myself not being able to lead myself well in the first instance. So later on, I started learning some of the things I will teach you today, and then I now noticed that after learning a lot about them, I found out on the long run that I was able to lead that organization well, lead myself well, and then I was able to lead about 4 other organizations at the same time, and nothing was wrong. Everything was going smoothly. My personal life was going smoothly. I was able to do a lot of things in that regard. So my conclusion then was not that if I'm going to be effective in my organization life, if I'm going to be effective in the corporate world, if I'm going to be effective in the job world, if I'm going to be effective in business, if I'm going to be effective in the social space, if I'm going to be effective in my community, if I'm going to be effective in any platform I find myself, I need to learn to lead myself first. And that is where this one comes. So I was able to develop self-management. I was able to develop what I call personal strategic thinking, ability to think with myself, ability to persuade myself to do some things and also reward myself. I was able to learn the ability of personal strategic thinking, personal communication. I will share some of them with you later on, and they really helped me. So you're able to develop core skills. Number two, personal leadership will help you in habit change. Habit change. You in personal leadership, when you are about to lead yourself well, there are some things that are involved. One of those things is that it will require that you change some habits. One of the first habits I needed to change then, I'm talking about my own personal, what's it called now, is I needed to change. I needed to avoid procrastination. Nobody can be effective. No leader can be effective if he keeps on postponing, and of course, a lot of things. So, personal leadership will force you to change some habits and develop new ones. I also remember that I do not. That was when that was the first time I realized that I do not need to be shifting responsibilities to others. If they ask me, why is this, why is things not moving here? Why is this team like this? Why is what's it called like this? I do say my members are not active, my friends are not cooperating, they are not doing this. Even if as an ordinary member in some organization, then I was complaining that the leader was not effective enough. I now personal leadership helped me to say that I am taking responsibility for the actions and inactions, for the failures and successes of everywhere I find myself, and even my own life, whether I am the leader or not in that place I find myself, and even my own life. I took personal responsibility that I have the honors, in as much as it is my life, in as much as I am in that forum. I took the responsibility that this is my life, and I'm taking responsibility for even the success and the failure, whether I'm the leader or not. So the orientation change, I began to change those habits and what's it called. Number three is that it will help you in personal better performance. It will help you to set examples. That it will help you to be responsive. Now, when you are leading yourself, you are responsive to some certain things because you have set a goals before you. You are conscious of your personal leadership journey. You are conscious of what you want to achieve. You are conscious of the characteristics, the behavior, the skills, the emotions that are involved, and how you can effectively navigate all challenges that has to do with those limitations in not achieving those goals. So that these are some of the things personal leadership will do for you. Now let's quickly go to this first, leading yourself. Now, in leading yourself, there are three major things that are involved. Number one is self-awareness. Now, all these three things, you will see that there is an intersection between them. It has to do with revolution, elevation, evolution. Now, revolution is change. When you begin to lead yourself, there will be things that will be changing about you. Now, if there are no significant changes every single week in your life, you are not leading yourself well yet. And then if those changes are not recorded, then it will be difficult for you to grow. And if you are not growing, the organization, even your own life, will not grow. So revolution, the changes. Number two is elevation. You can see there will be progress. You begin to move from where you are to where you are supposed to be. You will notice that when it comes about elevation, you will see that before there are some things that you are not able to do. Maybe because before you are not able to manage your time well. You will notice that now you become a master of time management. You have mastered your time well to the extent that you can any task, any performance, anything that comes your way, even if you are in 100 organization at the same time, you are able to manage your time well, and you are performing effectively, and at the same time, you or yourself, you are growing. And number three is evolution. That's interception. Intersection. You are changing. You are evolving from being an amateur to being a professional, to being a strategist, to being an expert. You are evolving over time. Now, let me now talk about self-awareness. A major component of self-leadership is self-awareness. Self-awareness talk about you knowing yourself. You knowing yourself, your ability, your capacity, your limitation, your strength. That means you need to take a SWOT analysis on your SWOT means strength, weakness, threats, and of course your your opportunities. Now, by now, as young Africans, you are expected to know your strength. What are some of the things that you are good with? Now, some people are very good with personally now in their personal some people are good with managing their time, or they have this self-motivation. They can motivate themselves irrespective of what they are passing through. Some people cannot. Some people that's their weakness. When things are happening, when things are not moving the way they should, they are not able to motivate themselves. They are just down. And then one key aspect of leadership is motivation, because as a self-leader, you are expected to motivate yourself. You are, although external motivations can come, even if they do not come, you are firing on. And that's one of the things that is affecting corporate life, organization life of young Africans. Because of a lot of things that they face, the emotions get to weigh them down, and they lose focus, and they are not able to perform very well in all front, whether in their business, whether in the organization, even in their personal life. So self-awareness is knowing yourself, knowing your strength. So one of the key activities now is that everybody in the chat box, can you please type your strengths and your weakness in the chat box? Type your strength and your weakness in the chat box. Type your strength and your weakness, at least 5. So you are aware of your strength and your weakness. That's your personality now. I'm still dealing with under self-awareness. Under self-awareness, you have personality, you have behaviors. Personality is who you are as a person, your person. Your behavior, some of your behavior, all of you too, you also know some of this behavior that you, of course, some people are naturally lazy. Yes, I have seen people like that. In fact, a lady once spoke to me, Emerald. The reason I've not been able to perform in this organization, that I take things for granted too much. I don't take it serious until people push me a lot. Oh, I said, now in that kind of situation, if you see that kind of person in an organization and you're asking the person is this person, why are you not active? Why are you not effective? But of course, by this with that one now, you can know that okay, this person is kind of lazy. The person will need to be pushing. You need to push this person push and push and push. So you should know your personality, your behaviors, your emotions. That's under then your purpose. Your purpose is also subdivided. Your purpose and principles. I have mentioned 5 things now. I'm expecting your what's it called? Your answer in the chat box. I'm expecting your answer. Everyone, this is an active class. I'm still going to leave. I'm still going to ask a lot of questions. I'll be directing questions to individuals. We need to learn this. These are bases of leadership, and it will help our life a lot. Now, I was saying that under self-awareness, you have 1, knowing your personality. Now, personality and character or behavior is quite different. Personality is the external part of your character or attitude. Let me use the word character. The external part of your character. Now, personality is what I want you to see about me. What I want you. So, if pride, for instance, if they have pride now, who is Emerald? Who is your executive director? I will begin to say, oh, he is this, he is that, he is the. That's my personality. But on the other side, there is another side of me called my behavior. My behavior, which is what is it called? Which might not be visible to some of you. So all these things sum up our character. Our character is in twofold: in our personality and our behavior. The personality is the external one. The behavior is the internal one, which I might decide not for you to see at all. So sometimes you might know my personality, this Emerald, this kind of person, but you might not know my behavior. So self-awareness bring out your personality, your behavior, that's under character. Then you get to also know your strength and weakness. Your strength and weakness. Your strength and weakness. You get to know your principles. You get to know your what's it called? Your purpose. That's under vision, mission, and other things like that. I'm still waiting for us. Then you get to know your strength. So the first thing you need to do, as some of the steps you need to start taking, is to take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself and look at your be self-aware. In fact, I didn't add one more. Know your emotions. Another one there is your emotions. You know, some people, one of the characteristics of their emotion is that they get angry easily. That's their emotion. Some people, when things are too tough, they start crying. No, so all of these things are part of self-leadership and self-awareness. So you have to document all of these things down. It will help you to say, because whether you like it or not, these things are determinants in leadership, whether it is personal, whether it is corporate, and even in organization life and corporate life and personal life, because they tend to determine the effective result of how you are going to lead yourself. For instance, if I do not master my emotions very well, if I'm a kind of person that I get angry easily, because when things are not done on time, I get to find out that when people do a lot of things, I pick it up and I get angry. Bam! Before you say anything, I am angry. Before you say anything, I am angry. So that will hamper my leadership within the organization. It will also hamper my leadership at the personal level, because some people get to they get angry to the extent that they get angry with themselves. They get angry with themselves. So personal leadership is getting to know people. Are not you guys are not what's it called? You are not putting answers there. I need everyone to put answer. I'm following those people that are putting answers. So personal leadership or self-leadership is one, self-awareness. So my assignment for you under this self-awareness is that go and evaluate yourself in such a way that you know your personality. You can take personality test, send messages to people around you, let them tell you who you are. That's your personality. That's what they see. Then also evaluate yourself. What are some of your behaviors over time? What are some of your behaviors over time? What are some of the things you observe yourself in the last 1 year or 2 years? What are some of your behavior? How do you behave to yourself? How do you behave to people? How do you behave to situations? How do you behave to circumstances and other things? Analyze even your emotions. Your emotions. Do you get frustrated easily? Do you get angry? Do you cry? Do you remain silent? Know your emotions as well. Then also know your strength and weakness. Some of it, so where you are good at. Know your skills. Know your skills. Some of the skills that you have. Are you able to influence people and all those things? So then your adaptability, can you adapt to any situations? So I've said this now. Let me repeat again. Know your strength and weakness, know your personality, know your behavior, know your emotions, know your your skills, know your purpose, your vision and mission. Know your principles. What are your core values? What do you value? For me now, I value service. One of my core values is relationship and service. I relate a lot with people. I value relationship a lot. Is my guiding principle. So know your core values as well. What do you value? What are your guiding principles? Some people, theirs is self-satisfaction. So theirs is hard work, diligence. Is a part of service. I love people that are conscious of service, and is my core value, and it's one of the core value that I uphold high. So if I'm relating with people, I relate them based on the ability to serve. So know your principles, know your core value. Your core values. Know your vision and mission. Know your emotions. Know your skills. Know your behavior. Know your weakness and strength. All these things. Do a well self-evaluation and be aware of yourself. Be aware of who you are. It will go a long way in building your self-leadership. Number two, quickly, I'm observing that. I'm observing everything everybody is saying. I'm observing everything everybody is saying, and I will respond to that later on. Now, number two, after you are face up, you have be able to know yourself. I've mentioned about 8 or 9 parameters you need to know, that you have to know yourself. You get self-aware. So this will give you a complete picture of your person, of who you are. So you can now say, oh, this is me. Now, after you have been able to say, this is me, the next thing is to now begin to look at self-development. Self-development. Now, for self-development now, after you are aware of yourself, you now begin to look at, how do I develop myself? How do I consolidate on my weaknesses and improve consolidate on my strength and improve my weakness? How do I improve my weakness? For instance, let me give you my, I want to be practical. Let me give you my own what's it called. When I did this analysis of self-awareness, when I finished this analysis under my weakness, I found out that I was not good in communication. I was very poor. Apart from that's under even personally, I found out that one of my weaknesses is that I do not have time for myself. I do not communicate with myself. I will get to that point later. Because one key factor of self-leadership is you are communicating yourself. You sit yourself down and you begin to talk to yourself. Okay, this is what you are supposed to do. This is how you are supposed to do it. This is what you did that is not good. this is what you did. That you so I found out that I did not have I was not able to communicate with myself effectively in such a way that my inner man will pick it up and take action on it. I learned that. Then I found out that I was not having thinking time to myself to be able to evaluate myself and analyze myself. Okay, this is you. This is what you are supposed to be. What's it called? So I found out my weaknesses. I found out my emotions. Number one is that I am not a patient type. I am not a patient type, and I'm a very angry type. When I give you a particular task, even when I give myself task, if I'm not able to do it effectively, I give it to another person. I found out I found out that one that if I'm not able to finish that was instead of continuing that was called, I give it to another person. I'm not a patient type. I'm a very angry type too. So when I ask you to do something, I not do it, I get angry and I give it to another person. I'm not very so I found out all these weaknesses with myself, found out all this emotion. I get angry easily. I found out this my personality. I ask people, what do you know about me? People gave me feedback, and then I look at some of my behaviors that I do, the ones that are positive, the ones that are negative. I look at my skill set. I know that I have this communication skill, but I was not making use of them and other things like that. Relational skill. Now, if you are able to you now identify that, okay, this is where I need to develop. For some people, theirs is management, time management, stress management. I was even poor. I was one of the poorest person on that as far as stress management is concerned. I just stressed myself. I was not able to manage stress and other things like that. So I was very poor. So after getting aware of yourself, you look at self-development, how you can now develop yourself, such that if you are poor in time management, you begin to learn everything about. You begin to learn everything about. You begin to learn everything about how you can improve time management, stress management, improve on your anger, relate with people, make sure that you finish tasks on time, you do not procrastinate again. You learn the ability to persuade yourself and reward yourself to do some certain things. You highlight all these things. You highlight all these things that you want to what's it called? All these things that you want to develop. And this is one of the things I want us to start doing as people in this organization. After this awareness, what's God that I asked you to do, begin to identify areas of development, areas that you need to critically develop, areas that means you are stepping up. You want to step up, you want to own it yourself, you want to take responsibility for your life, you want to influence yourself that, okay, this is my life, I need to lead it well. Because when you begin to do all of these things, it's going to be very easy for you to influence others if you can influence yourself to develop. So it is very important. Now you identify areas of development and then continue to develop. Now the next one is self-management, showing up. Now when we talk about under self-leadership, we talk about self-management, the ability to take control of every resources within you to achieve your goals. The ability to take control of every resources around you to achieve your goals. Now, in this organization that you have a goal, unless you do not have a goal, and I presume everyone has a goal. And one of your primary goals is to help the organization improve, and then to help your team, also to help yourself and the likes. You have goals that you have set up, and if you do not have today, let me make it another assignment. I think I've given two before. This is the third one. Write goals out for the organization, for the team, and then for yourself, your goals, and then your personal goals. Write them down. So your self-management is ability for you to control, to manage, to be in charge of every resources in order to achieve your goals and objective at personal level, at organization level, at community level, and in all areas of life. Now, let me give, for instance, Now, some of the resources are number one, your time. Another resources, people. Another resources, money. Another resources are valuables, physical resources. Now, a lot of people cannot manage their time very well. And then under self-leadership, if you cannot manage your time well in any leadership position, you cannot lead effectively. Because a whole lot of, and this is where the comments comes in. You see a lot of people. I do interact with a lot of leaders within the organization, and then even outside the organization, I do ask them this particular question, and the question is very simple. Now, um, why is it difficult for you to be able to do some of these things? Is the question I receive is I am too busy. And the first the first answer I said, the first answer I give to them is that, okay, you are busy, that's fine. Can you tell me some of the things that you do? On the long run, I now find out that it is not because the things are much, it is because the person has not mastered time management. Yeah, you must be able to manage your time under self-management very well to lead yourself well. Don't forget that leading yourself is influencing yourself to achieve results at personal level. So, for instance, some people have set goals in the course of this year now, but because they are not able to manage their time to do some certain things, they have not achieved those things. So, if at that point you are not able to achieve all those things within yourself, it is not possible that we set goals and deadlines for you in the organization and you'll be able to achieve them. That's one of the causes that is affecting you in this organization or everywhere you find yourself over time. Because even at your own personal life, you have set some goals and you are not able to manage your time very well. You do not know what to do and when to do it. So self-management, one of the keys, managing time. Number two, managing stress. Your ability to manage stress well. The number three, managing people around you, managing emotional management. Now, some people, they want to do some things, but later on, they feel that they are not well motivated enough to do it, and then they drop it. Some people, their own is procrastination. Oh, I will do it tomorrow. Some people is they are too angry with themselves to do some things. Some people is they are too tired or too weak to do it. A whole lot of things like that. A lot of emotions are coming in. Oh, that is limiting them, and they are not able to manage their emotions to say, oh, this emotion, okay, I am tired, but because I have influence over myself, tiredness, you don't need to affect me now. I need to finish this task. Don't forget that there are goals that you have set. Self-leadership and leadership generally has to do with goals, with targets, with vision, with mission, with objectives, with aim. So you have all those things in place. There is a vision for you have a vision, you have a mission, you have goals that you have set, you have targets and deadline, you have aims and objectives that you want to do it, you have purposes for doing it. So everything you are now doing, that self-leadership, is towards influencing yourself to achieve all those things that I've mentioned, achieve all those goals, aims, and objectives. You are influencing yourself. When it is whether it is convenient or not, you are influencing your emotions. Your emotions will tell you, your feelings will tell you are too tired. You are saying no. I can control myself, I can manage myself, I'm not tired, I can do this thing. You are influencing your action. This is what you are supposed to be doing now. This is how you are supposed to be doing it. You are influencing your thoughts. Some thoughts will be coming to you, and you are not supposed to do it. And what I'm supposed to do is this person should help you do it, and all those things like that. You are influencing your thought, and you are channeling all those energies from the thought, from the feelings, from the actions towards achieving all those vision, mission, and the lives. So managing emotions, managing stress, managing people, managing time, managing even money and other resources, educational resources, in order to achieve those goals. That's self-management. So these are critical areas of self-leadership that we talk about. The lecture is much, but I will take just one or two pictures more, and then I will call it I will call it a day to have question, because I know we are going to have a lot of questions. Now let me quickly share another, what's it called? I'm not sure I put it in my document, but let me see. See if it's in my document. I wanted to show you something. Let me see if I. Is this one? No, it's not this one. Please wait for me. Let me quickly find it. I thought I put it here. Now, as I was saying the other time, now other things. Okay, let me see if it's this one. Now, before I go into how to improve your self-leadership, now there are core ideologies about self-leadership and vision, mission, and core values. It is quite important that as young people now, you must take cognizance. You must take cognizance of what is it called? Of these core ideologies. Number one is vision. The question I have one of the questions I do ask people coming into the organization is that, do you have vision for yourself? Now, if you do not have vision for yourself, it is going to be very difficult leading yourself, because all of us, we call it visionary leadership. We are supposed to be vision driven. We are supposed to be vision driven, not action driven alone. Most people are driven by action. Most people are driven by words. Most people are driven by all other things. But in leadership, and then even in personal leadership, we recognize the fact that for you to lead yourself well, you must have personal vision statement. In 5 years, this is where I want to be. After then, it is those visions that will help you to carve out goals. For instance, now if you do not have vision of building leadership capacity, or you want to become a better leader, if you don't have vision for Africa, if you don't have vision for your generation, if you don't have vision, what's it called, there's no need for you being here. Your vision should be the one that will drive your goals, for you to set goals. If you are setting goals, I want to develop my leadership capacity, it's because you are seeing yourself in leadership position in in the next 5-10 years. Your vision should inform you on whether to join an organization or not, whether to carry out a task or not, and other things like that. So having vision is quite important. It informs you of the direction you are going, and that's why when people come to organizations like this and they are not doing what they are supposed to do and they are not effective, one of the things I sometimes conclude on is that this person do not really know what he or she wants. That's one of the person do not have a clear vision of where he or she is going. Maybe he or she just sees this one as opportunity to get certificates or to get recognized, or have been in this organization. No, have a vision. Vision is a picture of the future, what you are seeing yourself becoming in the future. So where you are, the organization you are joining and everything should be a function of the vision that you have. Number two is mission. Mission is what you want to do. The vision answers the question of why. Mission answers the question of what. What are you going to do? What is your mission? What are you going to do? Goals answer the question of how. How are you going to do it? So let me repeat. Vision answer the question of why. Why? Your purpose. I'm seeing myself in the next 10 years becoming the leader of my community, the leader of my state. I'm seeing myself becoming a corporate leader, becoming a business leader, becoming a change agent, and other things like that. That's vision. You are in the next 5 years in every area of your life. What's your vision? What's your vision in life generally? What's your vision about life? What do you have for life? And the mission is, what are you going to do? Your mission, what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to achieve the vision? Goals is, how are you going to do it? Then core value answer the question of whose. Who are you that you qualify yourself to achieve that vision? That core value, your personal, what is guiding you, your personal principle that will qualify you to achieve those visions. They are very important. These are core ideologies you need to put in place in leading yourself well. Then let me quickly talk about this, and then I'll share one more slide before I start taking questions. In improving your self-leadership, your ability to lead yourself, influence yourself, number one is be clear on your goals. Be clear on your goals. Now, let me ask the question, and I want everyone to answer it. I want everyone to answer it in the chat box. Now, do you have, let me answer the question, do you have a goal for every area of your life? I mean, your academics, your finance, your relationship, and everything. For every area of your life and your life generally, personally now, do you have written goals? Goals for the next 1 week, goals for the next 1 month, goals for the next 3 months, goals for the next 6 months, goals for the next 1 year, goals for the next 5 years, goals for the next 10 years. If you have personal goals for every area of your life, please put it in the comment box. The category of goals that you have, put it in the chat box, please. I want to see it. These are practical classes. It will help us to know how you are going to lead yourself well. Then another aspect of that question is, do you have goals? Do you have goals for this organization that you are, and not every other organization that you are? That's organization leadership. It will help you to lead your peers in the organization. It will help you to lead your boss. You can lead me. You can lead me. You can lead every of the boss in the, that is, we call it 360 degree. I've shared that one before. 360 degree leadership. Do you have goals for this organization? Then do you have goals for the African community, for your society at large? I'm picking that area of life. Now, under your personal life, your career or business, your personal development goals, your finance, your relationship, your academics, and every other thing, do you have goals? 1 month goal, 1 week goal, 3 months goal, 6 month goal, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. I want answer in the comment box, please. I want you to be interactive. If you do not have, if you have clear written goals, if you do not have, please, it is not a crime. Don't be ashamed. That's why we are here. Put it in the comment box. Put it in the comment box. Then do you have goals for this organization that you are, and every other organization that you are? Even in church, I do tell people in church, do you have goals for coming here? Because everywhere you find yourself, you must have goals for those places, or else you are not going to be, you'll be able to lead effectively. So put it in the comment box. Then do you have goals for your society, your country, your community, the African community as well? Because we are building leaders, and these key areas are very important. Personal leadership, organizational leadership, communal or societal leadership. They are key leadership we need to begin to work on as young Africans now. Put it in the comment box. I'm waiting. I want to pass some information around on that. That's why I'm asking you. If you do not have, there's no problem about it. Your personal goal in business, just put yes. Just put yes. If you have personal goals. Now, when I talk about personal goals, personal has to do with there are 6 areas of your life that are very important. Your relationship, your career or academics, your business, your social, and other things like that. All of those things. If you have goals for your personal life, your personal development, put yes. Now, if you have goal those personal goals for every area of your personal lives. Put them. If you have goals for this organization, it will shock you that if you ask all of us in that organization in 3D Africa now that you have goals for this organization, it will shock you that 90% will not written goals. I'm talking about it, not the ones that you put in your head. Though. Written goals, organization goals. If you have, put yes. It will shock you that a lot of people will not have. And I'm putting it to people that are here and people that are joining this organization. As you join this organization, have organization goals. The goals you have for this organization, it will drive you to lead. You'll be able to lead your peers. This is what influence them. This is what you are supposed to do. This is what you are supposed to do in this organization. You lead your peers in the organization. You will lead your boss. You even be the one telling your boss that, boss, this is what you are supposed to be doing because you have personal goal for that organization. I am not talking about 3D Africa alone. Do you have goals for organizations? Please put yes for organization goals. Yes for organization goals or no. Organization goal. Then the final one is what is it called? The societal goal or community goal. In the community that you came out from, your country, the African generation as well. Do you have goals? These are critical questions young people need to start answering. Critical questions young people should start asking. Critical ones. The personal goals, the organization goals, and the societal community goals. I have goals for Africans. I want to raise 10 million leaders. 10 million leaders. 10 million. That's my what's it called. In my community, I want to see improvements in mobilizing young people to be able to do some certain things, bring about community change and development, help your community, young people in community to develop strong leadership capacity. That's my community goals. My goals for my goals for the country. So all of those things you must have. Now let me say, if you do not have, it's not something you should be ashamed of. That's why you are here. Go and work on short term, medium term, and long term goal for your personal life. When I talk about your personal life, I now talk about your finance, your business, your career and education, your relationship, your personal development, even spiritual. Yes, all those key areas of your life. Go and develop short term between 0 to 3 months or 6 months, medium term 1 to 5 years, long term 5 to 10 years. Develop it. And then apart from that, also be developing monthly and weekly goals for these areas of your life. Very, very important. This is the highlight of this lecture I'm giving you. Develop goals for these areas of your life every single week. It is one of the habits. I told you that personal leadership will help you create some habits. Personally, I do not start any week without having goals for every area of my life. It will help me to drive. So I develop an habit of writing those goals down every single week. When the month starts, I write those goals out. I write relationship, I write finance, I write personal development. I write all those goals out. So I cultivate the habit of writing goals down. So the habit, it will help you. Then I also cultivate the habit of communicating with myself. I create time. I'll talk about that one later. So these are some of the habits you do. Then also go and work on that every week, every what's it called, the short term and that. The same thing with the organization. If you do not have goals for the organization, is also a task. I think this is my task is about almost 6 now. Go and write goals for this organization. Let them be written down and be looking at it. It will help you to maximize your time within the organization. It will even help you to lead your peers. When people are saying, "Oh, we are this is and all," you are saying this is how you are supposed to be, because you have goals. You have what you want to achieve in the organization. So set goals. Goals you want to achieve for the organization and goals you want the organization to achieve for you. It's going to be a pari passu thing. So when all these things are being put in place, when things are going, you can say, the goals that I said that this organization will achieve for me, the organization is not achieving it for me. then you point the attention of your leader. I was expecting that this is a goal, these are my goal for the organization to achieve for me, but these things are not put in place. Can we start doing this? Can we start doing this? Can we start doing this? So that it will drive those goals that you want to achieve, where you want the organization to achieve for you. At the same time, you're also achieving your goals for the organization. Oh, this is how this organization is. I want things to change like this. I want this change to be like this. I want our team to be like this. I want us to be performing tasks like this. So it will be able to lead your peers and your subordinates and everything. So even when you get to leadership position within the organization, you have clear goals that you want to achieve. Then for your community, have goals. For your country, have goals. For African society, have goals. Write all these goals down. It will help you, and then be very clear about them. Once you are able to do this, you have created a platform or an energy for direction. You move fast. And then you are able to relate with yourself well. Number two is that to improve your self-leadership, spend time by yourself. Spend time by yourself and spend time with yourself. This is one of the things I have found out personally, that people do not take time to spend. Now, I'm not talking about spending time with yourself to what do I put it now? To just relax. I'm not talking about spending time with yourself to just relax or watch TV and alone. That's relaxation time. Spending time, quality time with yourself, to talk to yourself. People have been talking to you. See yourself as an entity that needed to be influenced. Then see yourself as a tool that's going to be used to also influence yourself. Don't forget that self-leadership is influencing your own self, influencing your own very self. So spend time with yourself. I call something strategic time. I do have it every week, about 2 hours. At the beginning of every year, that's my own strategy. At the beginning of every year, I spend 3 days, full days, without doing anything at all with myself. I look at how well I've been able to lead myself. Am I effective in influencing myself to take critical actions that will help me achieve organization goals, personal goals, and goals for my continent? I spent 3 full days. I stay away from everybody. I spend 3 full days. So spend time with yourself. Think. Have a thinking time. Have a time that you commune with yourself. For those of you that are whether Muslim or Christian, you communicate with God. You communicate with people as well. Also communicate with yourself. That's another bit you have to inculcate. Communicate with yourself. Talk to yourself. Spend time by yourself. Then number 3 is that do not be afraid to take calculated risk. Now, when I talk about in leading yourself well, there are risks that you need to take. For instance, let me give a typical example. I told you that self-leadership has to do with influencing yourself. Most of the time, you may not feel okay or so well doing some certain things, but because you have set goals and deadline, it's a risk. Because and that's what people ask me sometimes. But you are a bit strong. You are a bit strong, and you are not. But one of the things that drive me is that I have personal goals. As I've informed you to do, that you are going to set personal goals in every area of your life. You have organization goals. I will not say I know it is risky for me to do these things, but I need to do it. I'm taking this risk because I have personal goals. I have goals that I have set to achieve all of these things. This is very, very important. And that's why we are having a lot of bad leaders within organization settings, in personal because people are not aware of all those things. We have so many young people that are very, very ineffective because of all this information that we have talked about. Learn to take calculator use. Then be excited about learning. I told you that when the person that took me on this journey started, he gave me 3 months to go and learn about personal leadership. So I'm giving you the task too. I'm giving you 1 month to learn everything you can about personal leadership and everything it takes. I've talked about a lot of things today about self-management, time management, stress management, emotion management, people management, money management, a lot of other things. Go and learn critically about them. I've talked about self-development, and then self-awareness. All these things, your personality, your behavior, and everything. Go and learn about everything. And now you can do habit change. How you can change some habits. How you can change your personality. How you can identify all of these things. Learn a lot about everything about we have talked about, and how you are going to develop yourself, the strategies to use, and everything. Be excited about learning. This platform, the organizational platform, is a platform to learn. So be excited about it. When they say time for programs like this, I do tell people I'm not always moved by the number of people that is around, but me as I am, at least what I do generally. Let me also share with you my strategy. In a week, apart from personal learning, I do attend nothing less than 3 to 4 programs that has to do with what I want to achieve per time. For instance, if my goal is on time management, I create time to learn about time management in a week, and I set goals for it. If I'm learning about business, any business programs that come my way, I also learn. So I do personal learning, I do general learning. If there are programs relating to some of these weaknesses, we mentioned about weaknesses and other things like that. So if there are programs and learning opportunities for that, I do it. Apart from the personal learning that I do, I get books on them, I get resources on YouTube and everything on them, and I learn. Be excited to learn. Be a learning machine. Let continuous learning be your core value. Be your daily habits. Don't forget, I told you are going to be changing habits if you want to improve self-leadership. So let learning become a habit. If learning is not a habit yet, it is not learning. And then it is learning that are becoming a habit, and that it is continuous learning that bring continuous growth. You cannot learn today and stop and you expect growth to continue. It is not possible. It is how much you learn that you grow. So let continuous learning be a part of you. Be habits. Don't be lazy about learning. Be excited to learn. Then again, learn to direct your energies on important things. Let me say this. This will help you in leadership. It will help you in leadership a lot, and in leading yourself well. So many people, but I wouldn't lie. Let me be factual, and let me be straight with you guys. There were times I was like that too. I won't lie. That I know that important things that I need to do within the organization, but I prefer doing some other things, talking and chatting with my friends and the likes. You will kill your direction with that. And that's why I call on setting critical goals, personal goals, organization goals, and the like. So until all those goals for under your every area of your personal lives, your organizations, and then the African community and society, those goals should be the guide, should be a guide in setting your daily agenda. So they will come under the important things, and then that is where you need to focus your energy on. All other things are peripheral. This is a problem with young people. When you have set all those goals every week, set personal goals every area of your life, set organization goals, set community goals and African goals. There are a lot of things you can do, even if you are not in position to help Africa. There are a lot of things you can still do every single week, and I do it. So set goals. So all these goals that you have set for that week will be your guide for daily to do, for daily activities. So they are the important things. And those are the things you need to focus on first. All other things are secondary. It will help you to navigate yourself a lot. You gain direction. Then ensure that you are influencing yourself to follow those goals. You influence your actions, your thoughts. Be thinking about those goals let them be your thinking, because your thought generates a kind of energy that produces whatever action you take. So let those goals be part of your thinking, so they generate energy for action. And then your goals, your actions, your feelings, and then let those goals also be let them generate energy for the way you feel, even if you are tired, because there are goals that you are because there are goals, you are influencing yourself to say, no, we must achieve these things. So learn to direct your energy on important things. It will go far in improving you as a self-leader. So finally, I've used a lot of time. Finally, let me just let me just share one or two more things, and then we'll take questions. We'll take questions. I would love to take one or two questions from you. I will go back to leadership journey, because I really so much love, as I round off. I want you to look at these things very well. I told you that every single day you are developing. Now, when we talk about leadership, I told you that leadership is influence and your ability to, what's it called, motivate yourself and others to do the right thing. That's leadership. Simply put, that's leadership. So everyone is a leader. So everything you do every day, you are building your leadership capacity, not negatively or positively, and everything you do every single day, there is a leadership journey you are passing through. And every platform is also a part for that leadership journey. This platform organization that you are now is a platform for leadership journey. So you move from being a servant leader. When someone will call you, your team leader will call you, oh, so person, do this for me. So person, do this for me. So person, do this for me. Even within yourself, then you become a servant leader. You are serving. So that service is your growth plan, because in service you go. That was a time I remember very well. As I ran off, I remember I would dwell more on this. There was a time when I was in school. That my boss, he would give me close to about 10, 20 tasks to do. And because he has now taught me to learn about personal leadership, I make sure that I demystify those tasks into days. Okay, this day and I during that time, despite the fact that I was in 4 organizations, he was mentoring me, he was giving me a lot of tasks. I was reading 3 hours per day. Nothing was disturbing that. I was managing my time. I learned that personal leadership to just that I mastered time very well. I know what to do per time. So all those servant leadership, then do this, do that, and there was never a time that I complained, because I know I saw this once, this leadership journeys once, and I said, servant leadership, serving people, is my good plan, because as I serve, I build capacity, I build skills, I build habits that will help me to go faster. So I'm putting, if you like, you can even screenshot this thing now. This is your leadership journey. Normally, and that's why we are having problem with Africa. This stage 5 is system thinking, adaptive leadership. Leadership that looks at situations, changing situations, they foresee, and that's what America operates. The leaders of America, that's how America was able to grow. This stage 5. Why? Because they have foresee the future, how things will change, and they have adapted their country life, everything about the country, everything about the administration to that. That is one of the things we are lacking in Africa. This is a summary of the journey of our leaders. Most of our leaders are very poor in stage 1, very poor in stage 2, very poor in stage 3. How do we expect them to perform in stage 5? That's the problem in Africa. I say it every single time, everywhere I find myself. every single time. We are having a problem, the problem of system leadership in Africa, and it goes from this place. So, growth plan, what's it called? After you serve and you are growing, that is where you can move to leading high performance empowerment. Then, from that growth, you begin to see that you are able to perform optimally. You are able to lead people to say, people under you are performing. Even yourself, you are able to perform high tasks that are highly tasking, and you are achieving results. Your performance is top notch because you have finished this stage. You have grown to that level. So I'm challenging everyone, go to the level where your performance will be top notch at personal, organization, and in community life. Then the third one is execution. You now get from being a tactical person to a strategic leader. Even personally, you are similarly now. Things are not difficult for you to do. This is where I'm in stage 3 now. I am in stage 3. I'm in stage 3 and stage 4. I've moved to stage 4 a bit. That is, you have to identify yourself in this journey. You have to identify yourself, and then you have to snap this in and be using it as a guide. It will help your leadership journey. I observe that if for you to get to this stage, you will go to a certain level that executing ideas, executing tasks are so easy for you. You can do it without any stress. You have people that will do it. You yourself can do it. You have built yourself. You have built your emotions. You have built your actions. You have built your feelings to the extent that all of you are leading yourself well. You can influence them to execute that task at high times. So execution, and then of course leading. Enterprise leading, you are leading what's it called? A flexible. I'm talking about flexible. What's it called now? That number 4. You are leading a flexible environment where things change easily. Things change easily, and then of course you are able to lead a large number of people beyond what's it called? The ordinary leadership. And stage 5, we have this problem in Africa, and I am trying to say that personal leadership will help your growth plan. Servant leadership, personal leadership, serving and leading yourself well, they are your good plan. They will help you start that journey, because this is where you are going, becoming a system leader that will change Africa. We are lacking 99% of our leaders, apart from a man now who have developed, and that is this president, Paul Kagame of Rwanda. Stage 4 and 5 of leadership. 99% of African leaders are not even in stage 2. I am sorry to say. And that's why you see that a lot of promises are being made and there won't be execution. They have not developed that capacity. So we need to really build up. We need to really build up. We need to really build up. So this is my task so personal leadership and servant leadership, serving and leading yourself well. In fact, is your starting point in this leadership journey. All of you are leaders, and we are building leaders here that will reach up to this stage. You need to start building that. So personal leadership is the way to go. Your ability to influence yourself, influence your thoughts, influence your action, influence your emotion, influence your feeling to achieve set target. Thank you, and God bless you. Let's take questions before we round up. Let's take questions now before we round up. The moderator is not even here again. Why is he not here? Now, if you have questions, please raise up your hand. If you have questions, I need raise up your hand. If you have questions, raise up your hand. Before I now give you the mic, I want to know the number of people. We are going to end very soon. If you have questions, please, can you raise up your hands? Do you know how to raise up hand on the what's it called? Or put on the chat comments that I have a question. Can we quickly do that? We have less than 10 minutes here, so we can round off. If you have question, put it in the chat comment. If you have questions, put it in the chat box. Or should I assume there is no question? Should I assume there is no question?
Okay. Hello.
By Conte.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any question?
Yeah.
You have a
No, I
question?
don't have a question. I just.
Okay.
No, I don't have a question.
Yanoluwa, you also have a question, right? Yanoluwa, do you have a question? Yanoluwa, do you have a question? Okay. That's the question. Bekonte, please ask your question. Yanoluwa ask question, and then I'll take one, just one more before we round up.
No, I said I don't have a question. I just want
Okay.
to commend. I just want to commend you for the good things you have done for us as an organization. In fact, almost everything you said here today, we see ourselves in what you say in this session today. So I believe most of us are going to work on it and work on also the plan that you give us for the 1 month. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's good. I've given about 6 assignments here. So please take note of them. And okay. Ola Yanoluwa said, what are characteristics of a good leader? We have a lot. We have a lot. But for me, I summed it up in 3 ways. I called a good leader a distinct, a distinguished, and a different leader, and that's what formed 3D Africa. And then and that's what also form our core values. For people that do not know today, our core values are innovation, impact, and influence. Innovations, impact, and influence. And then we want to build different, distinct, and distinguished leaders. And this is what informed it. A good leader, as the characteristics is summed up in 3 things. Number 1, a good leader is an influential person. But I'm not talking about fame. Please take note. There can be fame. I am talking about your ability to influence people to take action. Your ability for people to buy into your vision, your values and everything, and for people to take necessary action towards a particular goal, for people to follow you and achieve a particular set of goals, for people to say, what's it called? You are influencing others. You are influential. You are able to influence others to achieve certain goals. And then another thing is, characteristics of a good leader is impact. Impact. The impact that you are making. The impact that you are making. Let me say this. Now, as a good leader, you have impact on the people you are leading, both personal and organizational impact. Some of the impacts are growth. They must be learning from you. They must be going from you. They must be able to share some characteristics that you have. Oh, this is our leader. I love the way he communicates things clearly. And then you so much have that impact on them that they also want to learn to communicate clearly. And on the long run, they can also communicate clearly. So they will tell you that, oh, this is our leader. I learned how to be creative. I learned how to mobilize people. I learned how to improve on myself, and a lot of things like that. So you are making impact, and then you are making impact on individual. You are making impact on groups within the organization, and you are also making impact in the organization itself. And that's why one of the problems we have with African leadership is that, one, our leaders are not good impact makers. Some of them will come around, and then you will not be able to point out to some key impacts they have made in their time. So, and that's one of the things I tell people. If you are coming to an organization like this and you are not able to make impact, that's one of the questions I ask people. You have been in this organization for the past 1 week. What impact have you made? That's a measure of leadership. What impact have you made on your team members, on the organization as a whole? What things can people say? Like now, we talk about Paul Kagame of Rwanda. He has made a lot of impact on that country, and people look up to him. I have seen Rwandans that I say, oh, we want to create 3D Africa in Rwanda, and they said Paul Kagame has told us to follow due process. We have to follow due process. He has changed the mentality and the thinking faculty of those people that they don't take a lot of things from outsiders. They follow what they have been taught. I have seen it over time. So you are making, but the number 3 of a good leader, you are innovative, and that's another measure of innovative. Is that you can solve problems as they come. You are able to solve problems as they come. You are creative enough to make circumstances to become opportunities. And another problem we have in Africa, a lot of our leaders complain of circumstances and problems and everything, but they are not innovative enough to solve those problems. So I sum leadership into 3 things. 1, ability to influence. A lot of leaders in Africa do not have influence. And if you are a person, you are in that organization, 3D Africa, you are in a church, you are in everywhere you find yourself, and you do not have considerable level of influence, you cannot tell people in your community, can we do this? And you are not a leader yet. And this is what we are building in this organization, that even in your community, even within the organization, within the team that you are what's it called? You are saying, you are telling people you have influence over people. You are build influence over time. People respect you to the extent that you can say that, can we do this thing? And people say, okay, let's do it. Influence, impact, and innovation. That's the summary of leadership for me. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Ola Yanoluwa, have I been able to answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Any more question from anyone here? Any more question from anyone here? We are rounding off now. Okay, I think everyone is clear. Okay, I will drop the I won't drop the slide, but I will drop the notes, about 15 pages with you. And then, of course, if you are still not clear, you are still having what's it called, the link to this session is a recorded session, will be sent to the what's it called, so you can also watch. You can watch very well.
Excuse me, sir. Please, the recording aspects. I had a discussion with someone in the group, and the person told me she was unable to join because her phone has a little problem about joining Zoom. So I want to ask, maybe you can just drop the video too, the recording part too on the WhatsApp.
That was what I was saying, that the link will be sent, okay, so that people can watch the video.
Okay, and the hours is 1 hour, close to 1 hour, 40 minutes, sure. You can help us compress it so that
I don't know about that. If the media will have time to do that, they will do it. But if they are not, because they are busy too. If they cannot, it's a sacrifice you have to make for learning. If this learning is worth it, you can do night plan, you can do something and learn. It's a sacrifice you have to make. If you can do that, I will tell them, if they can do that, because they are busy, they are quite busy as well as now, and I understand. But if you can do it, fine. But if you cannot do it, the person should make that sacrifice to download it.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. In the absence of no question, in the evening, by what's it called? I don't know. The HR person is not here. He was supposed to give us information, but according to what they told me, James Kowoma, right? You are asking a question. Is it a question or what's it called? Okay, you are saying how to work with a leader in an organization that do not consult his subject in decision making, blah 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 blah. Well, there are different leadership styles. That's one thing you should know. There are different leadership styles, and each leader adopts some. Now there are some leadership style, and then of course the leadership style has to suit some what's it called, situations within the organization. Is the question you ask is a complicated question, and it will take a good number of time to answer them. A lot of things could have been responsible. One, in some cases where the leader find out that the members or the executives are not responsive, sometimes it takes those decisions on its own and asks them to take action immediately. That's task-oriented leadership. When you have, this is the task we are doing, everybody take this task and do it. We have people-oriented leadership. Task-oriented leadership is targeted towards several tasks. When you have a lot of tasks within the organization and you need to achieve them faster, you need fast results. Sometimes you may not need to consult. Sometimes they just carry out those tasks. Then you have what is called people-oriented leadership. The leader is concerned about the people, he seeks their opinion and everything. Read. I want to give you an assignment. Read on types and styles of leadership. You understand better. However, having said that, I will also say that, and that's why we talk about 360-degree leadership here this morning. You can also do well to lead your boss by calling the person to attention, show the example, lead yourself personally. And now note that if you have learned to lead yourself well, it will show in how you relate within the organization. People will notice that yes, you are a leader. And then of course, people take your words and what's it called? They respect you. And then when they are able to respect you, for instance, now let me be practical with you. There are some set of people here in this organization that when they speak, I want to listen because they have proved themselves to be leader. They are strong leaders. So if you prove yourself to that level, and then when they say okay, they send me a message. Oh, we are not supposed to do it this way. Can we do it this way? Can we do like this? They are leading up. They are leading their boss. They are influencing their boss to take some decisions. So you have to get to that point where you also be able to lead your boss to take some decisions. So generally, so learn to also lead up, and someone call it to call the attention of that person. The person will listen to you if you have built your leadership capacity over time, and then of course you have garnered the respect of that person and other things like that. So you can tell the person, but generally, for people that understand leadership very well, it has to do with leadership styles and what's it called, and the situation at that, and the type of people the person is leading. And that's why sometimes you do not blame some autocratic leaders because the type of people they are leading, they are terrible people. So all those factors. But go and read about all those things, and then let me. You can give me a call. I can also explain better for you in that line. Okay. I think the HR people are not here for evening purpose. Those that have not done the induction for the new members, they will do from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and then by 8 p.m. thereabout, we will have Mr. Amos Oyango, the executive assistant to Professor Pielo Lumumba, take us on leadership as well. He'll be taking a leading as young people. It's going to be a very interesting topic, and it's going to be participatory as well. I hope you have been able to learn a lot in this leadership session we have done. If you have learned a lot, can you put it in your in the chat box? Say I have learned a lot, and give me a summary of what you have learned, and then we'll end it for today. I have learned a lot. Put it in the chat comment. One particular thing that you have learned today, and then we'll end it for today. put it in the chat box. Let me know what you have learned today. Let me know just one particular thing, your take home for today. I've given, I don't know if somebody was putting down the assignment. so I want you to, if you have put down the assignment, you will help me put it, come to my DM on WhatsApp and put those assignments down. I didn't even remember some of them. Put those assignments down, and then you will be the one to send it on the platform, the WhatsApp platform, the assignments that you are given, so that other people can do it as well. There are things that if you do them, they will change your life forever. You will become effective in personal leadership, organizational leadership, and leading your community. You'll be so effective. Okay. Nobody, did you not learn anything today? I've not seen anybody putting what's it called there. Did we not learn anything? Nobody did not. Nobody learned anything. Okay. Okay. I have seen by Conte, I've learned a lot. Although I would have loved to be specific. Okay, let's do it this way, so as not to waste our time. Go and put what you learned on the general group. My personal leadership session, what I learned, put it on the general group, and then somebody should also help me put the assignment there, a summary of the assignment. Put it on the general group. Put it. So go and put it on the general group. What you learned, a summary of what you learned, and then the assignment. Let's go to the general group for those that are not around, so that they can know you have learned a lot. Thank you, and God bless you for this session. We put it to an end. Thank you. Thank you.